when I walked into the restaurant that evening. I already sensed I didn't belong there. Claire had picked the place, an upscale rooftop spot overlooking downtown. She'd been talking about it all week, how her company's big client dinner was a networking opportunity. I didn't mind coming along. I'd been proud of her promotion, proud of how hard she'd worked. But the moment I saw her smile at her boss, I knew this wasn't about us. She looked stunning, no doubt about that. The red dress, the confidence, the way she laughed at every half-funny thing Mark said. Her boss, the guy who called her kiddo at office parties. I took a seat beside her, trying not to notice how her body angled toward him instead of me. "Ethan, this is Mark," she said quickly, gesturing between us. "He's basically the reason I still have a job." Mark chuckled. "She gives me too much credit. She's been killing it." I smiled politely. "Nice to meet you." That was the first and last time he looked at me all night. Dinner moved at a pace only corporate people could manage. Talk about markets, clients, projections. I tried joining once or twice, but every time I spoke, Claire's eyes darted back to Mark, checking his reaction like he was grading her on charm. When the waiter asked about drinks, she ordered a second glass of wine before I'd even finished my first. "So, Claire," Mark said, leaning in, "that pitch last week, you crushed it. Everyone's still talking." "Oh, stop," she said, giggling. "You helped me so much." I watched her brush a strand of hair behind her ear, a move she used to do when she wanted my attention. Now it was his turn. Halfway through the night, she hadn't asked me a single thing. Not about work, not about my day, not even if I was enjoying myself. It was like I was invisible, an accessory she'd forgotten she was wearing. I excused myself to the restroom just to breathe. My reflection in the mirror looked calmer than I felt. I wasn't angry yet, just hollow. There's a point in relationships where disappointment turns into silence. I think I hit that point right there, under the fluorescent lights of a restaurant bathroom. When I came back, dessert had arrived. Claire and Mark were laughing about some office joke I couldn't follow. I sat quietly, waiting for the night to end. After the plates were cleared, Mark suggested they all go to a nearby lounge. Claire turned to me, eyes bright. "You don't mind, right? You can head home if you're tired." The words were casual, careless, like she was handing me permission to disappear. That's when I smiled, not out of kindness, but clarity. "You're right," I said. "I think I'll do that." She barely noticed as I stood, kissed her cheek, and wished everyone a good night. I didn't drive home. Instead, I took a long walk to the quiet streets, the cool air washing off the heat of humiliation. By the time I reached our apartment, my mind was sharp, focused. I wasn't going to yell or argue. I'd done that before in other relationships, and it never worked. This time, I let silence speak for me. The next morning, I woke early, packed a small duffel, and left her a note on the kitchen counter. "You seemed happier last night without me." I didn't want to interrupt that. "Don't worry about dinner next week. I won't make it." No anger, no explanation. Just truth. By noon, my phone started buzzing. "Claire, Ethan, where are you? Are you okay?" "Me, I'm fine." "Claire, you just left?" Without saying anything. "Me." I said goodnight. Hours later, she showed up at the apartment. I watched from the parking lot as she went inside, saw her pick up the note through the window. She froze. Then she sat down, head in her hands. I didn't go in. I let her feel the weight of the silence she'd built between us. That evening she called again, her voice trembling. "I didn't mean to ignore you, Ethan. It was just Mark was there, and I wanted to make a good impression." "I get it," I said quietly. "You wanted to impress him." "You did." "It's not like that," she said quickly. "You're twisting it." "No," I said. "I'm finally seeing it clearly." She started crying, and for a second, I almost softened. But then I remembered the look on her face last night, that glow she never had when she talked to me anymore. That was enough. Over the next few days, she sent messages, long ones about stress, ambition, misunderstanding. I didn't reply, not out of spite, but because there was nothing left to say. You can't explain away a moment when someone chooses who they really want to be seen by. 2 weeks later, I moved out completely. My name off the lease, my number blocked on her phone before she could block me first. I didn't need closure. I'd already found the moment she told me to head home if I was tired. Months passed. One afternoon, I ran into a mutual friend at a cafe. He said Claire had left that company. Something about office gossip. Apparently, Mark had gotten a little too friendly with a few other employees, and things blew up. She quit in embarrassment. I nodded, stirred my coffee, and felt nothing but quiet satisfaction. Not revenge, not victory, just peace. People always imagine closure as some big confrontation, shouting in the rain or slamming doors. But the truth is, sometimes closure looks like walking away before you're asked to. That night, when I finally ignored her calls for good, I realized silence wasn't weakness. It was power, the kind that doesn't need an audience. Claire once told me success was about being noticed. I used to believe her. Now, I think real strength is about being okay with not being seen at all. And so, I kept walking. No dramatic goodbye. No last look back, just the sound of my own footsteps. Steady and sure, moving on from a woman who finally realized that being ignored cuts both ways.